They say here the best thing is to take the enemy's country whole and intact. To shatter and destroy is not so good. Oh dear, so many of us forget this lesson. We go to war and we get angry with the opponent because they shot a bullet in our bum or something, you know. They kill our favorite horse or whatever. And we go there and slaughter everybody. Big mistake. Big, big mistake. Throughout history, you see our good friend Hon Yi, who fought with Lao Bong for control of the Chinese Empire after the Qin dynasty. Hon Yi was a great warrior, but unfortunately, when he missed out on capturing the capital of the Qin dynasty, he lost his temper. He went down there. When the Qin troops surrendered, they were on record anything from 250,000 to 500,000 troops surrendered. He buried them alive. Buried them alive. Big mistake. He lost the whole campaign there and then. You can't do that. You lost hearts and minds. The rest of the people won't surrender. They'll fight to the last cell in their body because they know they're going to get buried alive. Who's going to surrender? Big, big mistake. Lao Bei, one of my favorite people. Three Kingdoms. Oh, I don't know. I get so many lectures coming there. I love the Three Kingdoms. But Lao Bei, he deservedly has a special place in Chinese history because Lao Bei began with nothing. When his kingdom began, there's just three of them. Him, weaver of shoe mats, straw mats and shoes. His brother, Guan Gong, sells Tao Zhong. His other brother, Zhong Fei, he's a butcher and sells some alcohol on the side. This is a three-man show. They had nothing. So what they need to do was, every time they win, they have to keep the country intact as much as possible, win hearts and minds, and keep the country intact so he can build up. See? And because he treated people well, people were often surrendered to him without much of a fight. This is very good, winning hearts and minds. All right, they say, regard your soldiers as your own children, and they will follow you into the deepest valleys. Look on them as your own beloved sons, and they will stand by you even unto death. This is again Lao Bei. He's very, very good at treating people. Supreme excellence consists of breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. I remember Lao Bong was surrounded Hon Yi. And although Hon Yi's numbers were down, trust me, Hon Yi's soldiers can fight. And Hon Yi is probably worth 1,000 soldiers himself, even on a bad day. But what happened was, Lao Bong thought, look, if I charge in now, we're still going to win, but goodness, we're going to probably lose half our army at least. So what did they do? They got all these guys to play the songs of Chor, which is Hon Yi's troops' hometown. They were playing the songs of Chor. And Hon Yi's troops, one by one, they hear the songs, they give up, they want to go home. So without having to kill anybody, just playing the songs, the troops started deserting. Do you understand? This is Xun Jinping Fat applied really well. Supreme excellence consists of breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. Just play them some songs. They're all homesick. This one I love. The skillful employer of men will employ the wise man, the brave man, the greedy man, and the stupid man. Okay, you might think, oh gosh, that's a bit hard. But what he's trying to tell you is, if you are a truly great strategist, if you're a truly great general, you will know how to use every resource at your disposal. You don't turn away people, you don't turn off people, you don't send people away. Because he who can use the most resources, can leverage the most resources, will ultimately win. And this is, again, we'll come to this later, but Lao Bong versus Hon Yi. Hon Yi is probably one of the most talented men of his time. Just could do about anything better than anyone else. The downside to that was, he didn't really appreciate too many people around him because everything he could do better. And he said, I didn't really appreciate this, I didn't really appreciate, you made a mistake. Lao Bong was probably the reverse. There were many things he couldn't do very well. But his strength was, he knew things he couldn't do well. He was happy to delegate and empower other people, and he recognized their talents. So the end result is the less talented guy won and the more talented guy lost. So remember, it's not a one-man war. If you want to win the kingdom, you can't do it by yourself. You could be the smartest guy in the world. You could be the best warrior in the world. You're still one person, right? All right. There has never been a protracted war from which a country has benefited. It's true. First thing you learn is that you never get involved in a long war. If somebody gets involved in a long war of you, they're trying to wear you down. Go in there, do the job quick and get out. Understand? Because otherwise, you're going to be stuck in a really, really difficult situation. Us Americans, they find out the hard way. Everywhere they go, they do a quick fight and then they stay and then things turn really bad. So, what is of supreme importance in war is to attack the enemy's strategy. Now, whoa, Qin Shi Huangdi takes this to an extreme. He doesn't just attack the strategy, he destroys the intellectual capital. One of the reasons why Qin Shi Huangdi won was, where he can, he bribed. Where he cannot, he killed. So he assassinated all the best and brightest guys. He killed the military strategists. He killed the smartest scholars. Destroyed them. So if your country has got great soldiers but no smart people, you're going to lose. That's what he did. He just went there and assassinated the smartest guys. This is pretty rough stuff, but Qin Shi Huangdi was a pretty rough guy. Appear weak when you are strong, and strong when you're weak. Women are good at that. So is Sun Pan, but I'll tell you more about Sun Pan later. Huh? A leader leads by example, not by force. True. Very hard to do though. When strong, avoid them. If of high morale, depress them. If humble, fill them with conceit. If at ease, exhaust them. If united, separate them. Attack their weakness, emerge to their surprise. Sun Pan, I'll come to Sun Pan later on, okay? When you surround an army, leave an outlet free. Do not press a desperate foe too hard. It's true. In fact, there's a Chinese military skill called Mong Hoi Yat Min. When you have an opponent that's surrounded and they got no choice but fight to the death, don't charge in. Because they will fight to the death. And you're going to lose a lot of people doing that. What you do is, you leave one corner for them to run. And then you set an ambush for them. Because when they find that there's a road to run, they will pick that road. And when you have ambush for them, on the run, they're easier to hit. But if you corner them and you're back against the wall, you charge in, my goodness, it's really bloody. So this is a very, very clever strategy. The general who advances without courting fame and retreats without fearing disgrace, whose only thought is to protect his country and do good service for his sovereign. He is the jewel of the kingdom. My, really hard to find a guy like that, because most people when they attack, they're thinking of all the fame and fortune they're going to get. And when they retreat, they're fearing disgrace. But in truth, as a good soldier, as a good general, you have to know when to attack and when to retreat. And not fear disgrace if you're doing the right thing. Really hard to do. You ask the guy to put his pride down and do the right thing. The water shapes its course according to the nature of the ground over which it flows. The soldier works out his victory in relation to the foe whom he is facing. This one raises many, many implications. It's true that people react according to circumstances. That's all totally correct. But then Sun Mo is not a normal person. He's an exceptionally talented, wise Taoist master. And that's why I will give you a slightly different reading after we go past these general principles, because to read something at what we call face value is different from reading in his deeper sense, because this guy is a deep guy. Sun Mo is not your ordinary, sort of average sort of Joe Block around the street. He's a really, really deep guy. So, in fact, there are a lot of hidden meanings to what he's saying. Some of which I understand, some I don't understand. I'm still trying to understand. Some are sort of proven in the past, so I can explain that to you. Some predictions of the future I wouldn't want to share with you, because good things happen to people who keep their mouth shut. The highest form of generalship is to defeat the enemy's plans, number one. Next best is to keep the enemy forces divided. Number three is to attack the army in the field. The worst policy is to besiege walled cities. Let me tell you, people keep forgetting this. When people lose their temper, they're in a hurry, they want to do something, they keep attacking walled cities. Bad idea, man. Walled cities means you're going to lose a lot of people. Can you imagine people trying to climb walls? Even though all the equipment you have in the world, attacking a walled city is really the last option, right? The first thing you want to do is to defeat their plans. And then if you can, then you want to do is to keep the forces divided. You want them to fight among each other. And after that, you want to take them out and fight them in the open. Because fighting them in the open, they're much easier than fight them when they're fortified. Good example is Cao Cao. Cao Cao, in the start of his career, met up with this guy called Yun Xiu. Yun Xiu was the biggest baron at the time. He had more troops than anybody, much more than Cao Cao, much more generals, much more resources. In fact, all his cities were so well fortified, he had plenty of food. All he needed to do was listen to his advisors' good advice, which was, hey, stay put, let Cao Cao shout all he likes. We keep growing. In 10 years' time, our troops will double or triple, our food stores will double or triple. That's Cao Cao is a waste of time. We won't even bother with him. He's not even part of the equation. But he couldn't take the insults Cho Cho and his men came on the wall and said, Yun Siu, you're a fool. Yun Siu, your time is up. And all kinds of things, you know. Yun Siu, you're an old toad. All kinds of, he couldn't take the insult, so he came on and fought. Big mistake. Because when he came out of the fort, Cho Cho cut them to pieces. Even though his numbers were lesser, they were not fortified. And he knew how to fight them. In fact, Cho Cho did all kinds of things which, you know, nice people like you and I wouldn't do. For example, brought the guy out and instead of starting the fight, Cho Cho said, hey, remember old times we sat down together, had a drink. You know? What happened was the sun was actually shifting from one side to the other. When the guy came out, Yun Siu, the sun was actually facing Cho Cho's troops in the eye. But Cho Cho had a chat with him until the sun went the other way and started going to the eyes of his people. Cho Cho is a really sneaky boy. He's a very sneaky boy. It's a very hard guy to fight. You understand? So remember, these are some of the principles that came by, and you know, I think, bear in mind, these things will reflect itself again when we see the latter part of the lecture. Okay, Sun Mo died, and about 100 years or thereabouts later, a guy called Sun Pan came along, and Sun Pan is equally significant. Equally significant. Some say his grandson, some say his great-grandson. We know it's his descendant. Sun Pan actually never met his grandfather or great-grandfather. But he's considered the greatest strategist of his time, and the only person who probably is the true inheritor of Sun Mo's knowledge. You see, when people say to me, Sun Mo's sort of works are sort of available in the public, we all got a copy of it, I have deep reservations. Deep reservations because even from the Chinese Kung Fu history and culture, the secret techniques of the swordsmanship, of Qigong, of the highest levels of freehand fighting and so forth, in Chinese medicine, are not ever published, never written, never ever oral tradition. For obvious reasons. They are worth a lot. You've gone to the wrong hands, you just sort of pass your lineage to somebody you're not related to and who might in fact come back and attack your family. So it was never ever revealed. So for Sun Mo, who is such a smart guy, so determined to make sure that it passes in the right hands, it's almost inconceivable that he would put it all down 5,600 words and pass it on to the public and everybody read it. In fact, it was well known during his time that after he died, every king wanted to acquire his wisdom and knowledge, but there were a lot of what you call it, false copies. There were a lot of, you know, counterfeits all around the place, and most people read that and saw, this looks like a Beano, you know, Dandy magazine. This looks like a Mad magazine. This doesn't look like Sun Jiping fight. But you know, a lot passed around. So you know, let's not get excited about it. And the other thing, of course, is I think there is some credibility in the fact that Sun Pan, being his descendant, it was passed to him orally. Now, okay, I'm going to veer off the known facts now and tell you what I know. And you know, this is folklore. This is legend. Sun Pan is again an extremely accomplished and talented person, and his parents and his uncles and aunties and ancestors, they were cursed by the fact that they were Sun Mo's descendants. In fact, they were persecuted everywhere they went. They had to adopt a different surname, they had to go into hiding, they were constantly attacked. They had, you know, one night it was one group of guys attacking, and another night somebody would poison them. They were just everywhere, they were just trying to, because everybody wanted Sun Mo's works. Everybody wanted Sun Mo's knowledge, and none of them were prepared to share it. In fact, most of the Sun family were killed. They were assassinated, murdered. Sun Pan had to go and live in a place called Kwai Kok, Ghost Valley. Now, before we sort of think, okay, Sifu is having us on, what is this place called Kwai Kok? In fact, there's a character called Kwai Kok Ji. And Kwai Kok Ji is a contemporary of Sun Mo's. Apparently, they were best buddies. And apparently, they were both studying Dou together. And apparently, they have a highest respect for each other. This is where I think I have to make a statement. Again, I know people challenge me and people say, Sifu, you know, you're an old fuddy-duddy, you know, you spend too much time meditating, you burn your brain. But Sun Mo and Kwai Kok Ji were best buddies and spent a lot of time discussing theory together and had a lot of respect for each other. It wouldn't surprise me that Sun Mo actually passed the knowledge to Kwai Kok Ji orally, who then passed on to Sun Pan. It wouldn't surprise me. Now, why is the place called Kwai Kok? Is it because it's full of ghosts? No.